हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य 10+शततमः पाठः। अस्मिन् वर्गे भावाधिकारस्य अध्ययनं प्रारभामहे। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते। सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य वर्गस्य प्रयोजनानि। सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य सर्वेषां सूत्राणां विस्तारेण अध्ययनं, यत्र आवश्यकं तत्र अन्येषां व्याख्यानानां साहाय्येन शास्त्राध्ययनं, सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः यथा योग्यं कृत् प्रत्यययोजनं, कृत् प्रत्यये परे रूपनिर्माणप्रक्रियायाः अभ्यासः, अष्टाध्याय्याः तृतीयाध्यायस्य कण्ठस्थीकरणम्। पूर्वस्मिन् वर्गे अस्माभिः सप्तमं करपत्रं सम्पूर्णरूपेण अधीतम्। उत्तरकृदन्तानाम् अध्ययनमिदानीं प्रचलत् अस्ति, तदपि स्मारयामि। तत्र प्रारम्भे भविष्यत्कालनिर्देशकप्रत्ययाः आहत्य त्रिषु वर्गेषु अधीताः। इदानीम् अग्रे गच्छामः। अष्टमं करपत्रम् अस्ति भावार्थकप्रत्ययाः। Let's go to sheet number 8. This is the only significantly big sheet in this entire Uttar Kridanta section, and the last sheet, 12th sheet, will be equally big. So here in the Bhavarthaka section, we start with a sutram called Bhave. Before that, let's go to the Bhavishyat Kala Nirdeshakaha and let's recap what we saw. So तत्र भविष्यति गम्यादयः इति प्रथमं सूत्रं, तदनन्तरं कानिचन सूत्राणि यावत् पुरा निपातयोर् लट् विभाषा कदा कर्यो and so on, they are related to the lakaras, अतः तेषाम् अध्ययनं न कृतम्. तदनन्तरं तुमुन्वलौ क्रियायां क्रियार्थायां भाववचनाश्च अण्कर्मणि च लृट्शेषे च लृटः सद्वा इति यावत् सूत्राणि अधीतानि. तदनन्तरम् अग्रे सूत्रद्वयं विद्यते, लृटः सद्वा अनद्यतने लुट् पद रुज विषस्पृशो घञ् सृस्थिरे इति त्रीणि सूत्राणि। तत्र अनद्यतने लुट् इति सूत्रं त्यजामः, तत् सूत्रं पुनः तत्र लकार प्रकरणे पाठ्यते। अतः सूत्रद्वयं पद रुज विषस्पृशो घञ् सृस्थिरे। एते द्वे सूत्रे तत्र भविष्यति अधिकारे न स्तः. The भविष्यति अधिकार ends at anadhyatane lut, and in pada ruja vishasprusho ghai, if you enter this sutram, the very first line in Kashika says bhavishyati iti nivruttam. So what is happening is that the bhavishyati adhikara ends at anadhyatane lut, and the bhavadhikara starts two sutras later in bhave. Two sutras have been sandwiched in between for no reason. He could have moved them earlier. So pada ruja vishasprusho ghai and srusthire. Both of these sutras we have already studied in sheet number 1, if you remember. So if you go back all the way to sheet number 1, sheet number 2, Nuvuladayaha. If you go back all the way to sheet number 2, at the end there were two sutras, pada ruja vishasprusho ghai and srusthire. So both of these sutras have already been studied in sheet number 2. And the reason why I taught them at sheet number 2, because they perfectly fit in the theme that we studied in sheet number 2. Kartrarthe anvuladayah pratyaha bhavanti. So all these, so these ghai pratyaya given for pada, ruja, visha, sprusha and sru is basically for kartrartha sense. Therefore, it doesn't really make sense to add this over here. The only reason why this two sutras are added over here is for this ghai pratyaya. So ghai iti pratyayah atra pada ruja vishasprusho ghai ityanena pathyate. Saha pratyayah atra bhavadhikare sarvatra anuvartate. So this bhavadhikara that we are going to start today is all about this ghai pratyaya. The most important pratyaya in the bhavadhikara is ghai, and therefore in order to introduce ghai, probably save a few letters alpaksharatvam. Tadartham atra sutradvayam atraiva acharyaihi sthapitam padaruja vishastrusho ghai srusthire etayoho sutrayoho purvameva adhyanam krutam इदानीम् अग्रे गच्छामः भावे इति अत्र कश्चन अधिकारः प्रारभते. So I just wanted to give this particular background of what we have already studied. So these 12 sheets were done with very specific thought in mind. Sutras from different places were collected together at one place, and this is one instance of that. अतः एतयोः द्वयोः सूत्रयोः अध्ययनं पूर्वमेव कृतं. ये जनाः पुनः पठितुम् इच्छन्ति, you can go back to sheet number 2, the corresponding videos, and take a look. अतः अद्य अग्रे गच्छामः भावे इति अधिकारः. So in this particular section we start with the first sutram bhave, which is essentially a huge adhikara spanning 90 sutras, around 90 sutras. Very well known adhikara, bhavadhikarah iti uchyate. Kutah paryamtam gacchati 33112 akroshe nayanihi is a very nice boundary, because he explains the all the sutras in the bhavadhikara, and then later on he says krutya lyuto bahulam. So krutya and lyut pratyas can be used in multiple senses, which means bhave and other senses. So clearly looking at this sutram, bahulam itself is strong enough to take away the anuvritti or take away the adhikara or stop the adhikara of bhave. So the bhavadhikara starts from 3318 and goes all the way up to 33112 akroshe nayanihi eteshu sutreshu pathitaha sarve pratyayah bhave vidhiyante. So kartari krut ityanena pathita ityanena sarve krut pratyayah prayah kartararthe bhavanti. That's a default. Kartari krut iti default utsargah सर्वत्र कृत प्रत्ययः कर्तरी भवन्ति इति अर्थः. परन्तु तद् बाधित्वा अत्र पाठिताः प्रत्ययाः, as I am again and again mentioning, घञ् is the most important of them. अत्र पाठिताः घञ् तथा अन्ये प्रत्ययाः भावे विधीयन्ते. We have seen pratyas in the bhavadhikara. So for example, in the bhav sense, so tavya, tavyat, aniyar, anyat, all these pratyas are used in karmani and bhave, bhava karmanoho. So there is a karmani sense and there is a bhave sense, but this is very specific. This is only bhave. There is no karmani sense over here. There is no kartari sense over here. This is purely the set of pratyas given in the bhavadhikara, in the bhava sense. तदनंतरम immediate next सूत्रम 3319 अकर्तरी चकारके संज्ञायाम it spans or it starts another internal adhikara which extends all the way till end of bhavadhikara. So here is an example of two simultaneous adhikaras like how we have in the beginning of pratyayadhikara. प्रत्ययाधिकारस्य प्रारंभे किमस्ति प्रत्ययः, तदनन्तरं नूतनः अधिकारः परश्च, तदनन्तरं नूतनः अधिकारः आद्युदात्तश्च. त्रयाणामपि अधिकाराणां समापनं तु एकस्मिन्नेव स्थले पञ्चमाध्यायस्य चतुर्थपादस्य अन्ते भवति. तादृशमेव अत्रापि आदिस्थेन सूत्रेण भावे इत्यनेन कश्चन अधिकारः प्रारभते. तदनन्तरम् अग्रे विद्यमानम् अकर्तरिचकारके संज्ञायाम् इत्यनेन सूत्रेण द्वितीयः अधिकारः. द्वयोः अपि सूत्रयोः प्रारब्धः अधिकारः एकस्मिन् एव स्थले समाप्यते. तर्हि तत्र अधिकारद्वयं किमर्थम्? एकमेव सूत्रं करोतु भावे अकर्तरिचकारके संज्ञायाम्. तादृशं कर्तुं न शक्यते, यतः तत्र संज्ञायाम् इति शब्दः अस्ति. So the meaning of the second sutram is that all the pratyayas given in this section can be used to indicate a non-kartari karaka, like a karmani karaka, karana karaka, sampradana karaka, and so on. A non-kartari karaka when we have to derive a certain well-known word, certain samjna, certain rudhi vachaka, a well acceptable word in the society. On the other hand, there is no such samnya condition for bhave. अत्र पाठिताः प्रत्ययाः भावे प्रयुज्यन्ते चेत् तत्र संज्ञा निर्माणं भवेत्, अन्य निर्माणं भवेत्, तत्र किमपि चिन्तनं नावश्यकम्. परन्तु अकर्तरिकारके इत्युक्ते कर्मणिकारके करणकारके अधिकरणकारके एतेषां प्रयोगः कर्तव्यः चेत् तत्र संज्ञानिर्माणार्थमेव करणीयः। एतत् अत्र योगविभागेन ज्ञाप्यते. So why I have two sutras? Because the second sutra has a restricted scope on samnyayam. So that is the story of this entire sheet number 8. We start with bhave and akartari chakarake samnyayam, and then there are a bunch of sutras over here. Now in these sutras we go till 3393 karmanyadhikarane cha, and at 3394 we come across a sutram called striyam ktin. This sutram striyam ktin starts another adhikara inside the bhavadhikara, which is the stri adhikara. So in the striyam ktin adhikara, fondly called as stri adhikara, इत्यस्मिन् अधिकारे पाठिताः प्रत्ययाः त्रिषु अधिकारेषु सन्ति. So all these pratyayas are in the bhavadhikara. They are also in the akartarikarake samnyayam. In addition, they are in the striyam ktin adhikara, and they have been separated out in sheet number 9 for the convenience of our study. Because obviously they are specifically about strilinga. And moreover, remember the Vasarupa Vidhi, Vasarupo Astriyam. So there is a very peculiar mention of this adhikara in the Vasarupa Sutram. So it makes total sense to separate them out. And therefore, sheet number 9 has been extracted out of sheet number 8. Strilinga Vachinaha Bhavarthaka Pratyayaha Bhave Eva Bhavanti No Chet अकर्तरिकारके संज्ञायाः विषये अकर्तरिकारके भवन्ति परन्तु स्त्रीलिंगे प्रयुज्यन्ते. Specifically they have been taken out to indicate this linga difference, and also the Vasarupa Vidhi requires a separate treatment on these. The Strilinga Vachi Pratyayas, they start at this 3394 and it extends all the way till end of Bhavadhikara. So this is kind of a tail or a subset that ends at the same place. Ataha atra अष्टमे करपत्रे किं पठामः इति चेत् 3318 इत्यतः 3393 इति यावत् सर्वम् अस्माभिः अष्टमे करपत्रे पठ्यते. तदनन्तरं 3394 इत्यतः 33112 इति सर्वम् अस्माभिः अग्रिमे नवमे करपत्रे पठ्यते. But the point to remember is that when we shift from sheet number 8 to sheet number 9, it is the same bhavadhikara that is continuing. It is the same akartarikarake adhikara that is continuing. Now one small comment and then we will start the actual discussion of the topic. अत्र अस्मिन् करपत्रे पश्यामश्चेत् भावे अकर्तरि च कारके संज्ञायाम् इति सर्वाणि सूत्राणि दत्तानि सन्ति. तदनन्तरम् अत्र 3394 इत्यतः 33112 इति यावन्ति सूत्राणि स्त्रीलिङ्गवाचिनि अर्थे प्रयुज्यन्ते तेषां निर्देशः अग्रिमपत्रे कृतः अस्ति. स्त्र्यधिकारस्य अन्ते भावाधिकारः अपि समाप्यते. So when स्त्र्यधिकार ends, the bhavadhikara ends, and after that also there are a few sutras, obviously because there are some sutras which will give the pratyaya in the bhave sense. They are not in the bhavadhikara, so they have been written at the end. So napumsake bhave taha asmabhi nishtha pratyayoho adhyayana samaye drishtamidam sutram tasya hasitam jalpitam shaitam and so on. So lyut pratyaya api bhave bhavati कर्मणि च येन संस्पर्शात् कर्तु शरीर सुखम इति अन्यदेकं सूत्रमपि अस्मिन्नेव संदर्भे भावे संदर्भे प्रयुज्यते. So these three sutras are not there technically in the bhavadhikara, but they still talk about the bhavavachaka pratyayas only. We will see why they are not in that particular adhikara, or we will see what is their meaning and so on towards the end of this particular sheet. Parantu tatra, just like the way in the Vuladis, we studied all the sutras and then we picked this pada, ruja, vishas, prusho, ghai and srusthire out of order because they fitted in or because they were perfect match in that particular section. In the same way, in the bhavarthakas also, After the entire section is done, we will pick up these three sutras, napumsake bhavektaha lyut ch and karmani cha yena samsparshat kartu sharira sukham, and then we will conclude the bhavadhikara. One important point that usually gets missed or usually gets overlooked is that अस्मिन् अधिकारे पाठिताः शब्दाः सकर्मकेभ्यः धातुभ्यः अपि भवन्ति. I am specifically mentioning it in the beginning, and I will be mentioning it all the way again and again through the course. Remember, when we studied lakkarmani cha bhave cha karmakebhya, briefly mentioned, or when we studied tavya, tavyat, aniya, ranyata, and so on pratyas, there was one statement that I was continuously telling. Karma padam asti chet karmani pratyayah, karma padam nasti chet bhave pratyayah. So we had a clear distinction. Yaha pratyayah bhava karmanoho vidhiyate. If a pratyaya is attached in the bhava karmanoho sense, a combined sense of bhave and karmani, then how do we decide whether it is a karmani sense or whether it is a bhave sense? Karma padam asti chet karmani eva bhavati, karma padam nasti chet bhave bhavati. Maya pathitam iti samyak asti. Maya pathaha pathitaha iti samyak asti. As soon as you have the karma pada called patha, you have no choice but to apply the karmani usage on the word pathita, which is the kta pratyayanta word, and you have to say maya pathaha pathitaha, maya gita pathita, maya pustakam pathitam. You do not have a choice over pathitaha versus pathita versus pathitam. That particular prayoga is a karmani prayoga, so it must resonate with the karma pada. So what I am hinting at is yatra yatra अन्ये प्रत्ययाः अस्माभिः इतः पूर्वं प्रत्ययाः दृष्टाः भावकर्मणोः पाठिताः प्रत्ययाः ते कुत्र कर्मणि भवन्ति कुत्र भावे भवन्ति तत्र विकल्पः नास्ति. प्रत्यय कर्मपदम् अस्ति चेत् कर्मणि एव प्रयोगः, कर्मपदं नास्ति चेत् भावे एव प्रयोगः. परन्तु अत्र किमस्ति, अत्र भावकर्मणोः इति सन्दर्भः नास्ति. All the pratyas discussed over here are purely in the bhave sense. Therefore, whether there is a karma pada, whether there is no karma pada, they will always be used in the bhave sense only. That's what I am trying to emphasize over here. अस्मिन् अधिकारे पाठिताः शब्दाः नित्यं भावस्य निर्देशार्थं भवन्ति. सकर्मकेभ्यः धातुभ्यः अपि भावस्यैव निर्देशार्थं भवन्ति. कर्मपदस्य उपस्थितौ अपि भावस्य निर्देशार्थम् एव भवन्ति. Fundamental difference between sheet number 8 exclusive bhave pratyas versus what we have seen earlier bhava karmanoho pratyaya. This is the difference. So example, Devadattaha padyasya lekhane praveenaha. Devadattaha padyasya pathe praveenaha. Patha is the action of reading. Lekhana is the action of writing. So here padyam pathati, padyam likhati. So both of these are sakarmaka dhatus. They have a karma pada, but still it is used in the bhave sense. Padyasya lekhane praveenaha. He is expert in the action of writing. Padyasya pathane praveenaha or pathe praveenaha. He is expert in the action of reading and so on. So these verbs are always used, these pratyas are always used in the bhave sense, whether there is a karma or whether there is not, whether there is no karma pada. With this background, idanim prarabhamahe. Let's quickly spend some 20-25 minutes on understanding this concept of bhava, because this is a very fundamental concept. And when you start studying more complex arthika granthas, Vakyapadiyam for example, or say Dhatvartha Prakaranam from Bhushanasara, you will have to, or you will come across this concept of bhava, or say प्रत्ययस्य अर्थः धातोः अर्थः किं नाम भावः किं नाम कारकम. All these concepts will come across again and again, and having a solid hold, solid understanding of these concepts will be crucial at that particular time. So kim nama bhavaha, what is bhava? Forget about what is written in the screen. All of us know it in the basic style. Bhava is nothing but the inherent kriya itself. So when we say Devadattaha vanam gacchati, Devadatta is karta, vana is karma. Everybody knows this. But the actual action of going is not indicated by Devadatta or vana. It is indicated by that gacchati, that particular entity. So this particular dhatvartha itself is called bhava. More formally, more technically, we call it phala utpatti anukula vyaparatmika kriya. Phala utpatti anukula vyaparatmika kriya iti धात्वर्थः इत्येव अर्थः इत्यस्यैव अर्थः भावः. What is phalotpatti anukula vyaparatmika kriya? We also discussed this part partially in the Vakyartha last time. Some of you might have already studied it when you studied Karakas. So any dhatu has two components. There is a phala and there is a vyapara. Vyaparasya ashrayah tatra karta, phalasya ashraya tatra karma iti sarvaihi jnayate. So Devadattaha odanam pachati ityatra. Devadatta is the karta because he is the one who actually does all the action, taking the utensil, putting rice in it, putting water in it, putting that on the stove, igniting the fire, and so on. So he is the karta, and the phala, the result of that action, is seen on the odana. The odana becomes soft, it becomes moist. We call it vikliti. So that is the phala. So the vyapara gets described as vikliti anukula vyaparaha. Any set of actions that enables the softening, the moistening of the rice, of the tandula, that will be called vikliti anukula vyapara. That particular action is the dhatvartha. So dhatvartha essentially is nothing but bhava, which is same as vikliti or phala utpatti. Vikliti was an example for pachati. In general, we would say phalotpatti anukula vyapara vyaparatmika kriya iti vadamaha. So this particular dhatvartha, there is a lot of material on the slide, but I'll walk you through. So this particular dhatvartha can be expressed using a tinganta, or it can also be expressed using a krudanta. We have seen this. The bhava can be expressed using tinganta because we have lak karmani cha bhave cha karma kebhyah. Ramena pathyate, Krishnena hasyate, Devdattena gamyate. In all these sentences, the words like pathyate, gamyate, hasyate are all indicators of the bhava. They do not indicate the karata, they do not indicate the karma, they indicate the bhava. लक् कर्मणि च भावे च कर्मकेभ्यः. अर्थात् तिङन्तैः कुत्रचित् भावः निर्दिश्यते, कुत्रचित् कृदन्तैः अपि भावः निर्दिश्यते. मया पठनीयं, मया कार्यः, तेन पठितव्यम्. So maya karyam, maya patitavyam, tena pathaniyam. In all these cases, it is again the bhava of that kriya, which is now indicated by tavya pratyaya, tavyat pratyaya, aniyar pratyaya, ya pratyaya, and so on. Atah krudantena api bhavaha nirdishyate. That's in fact the story of this whole section, sheet number 8, bhavadhikari pratyayah. So krudantena api tatra bhavaha nirdishyate, तिङन्तेन अपि तत्र भावः निर्दिशते. रामेण गम्यते इत्यत्र तिङन्तेन भावस्य निर्देशः, रामस्य गमनम् इत्यत्र कृदन्तेन भावस्य निर्देशः. These are the some simple examples. इदानीं तिङन्तेन यत्र भावः निर्दिश्यते तथा च कृदन्तेन यत्र भावः निर्दिश्यते तत्र को भेदः इति किञ्चित् पश्यामः. So what is the difference between showing the bhava using a tinganta and showing the bhava using a krudanta? So whenever we have a tinganta, it is nothing but the dhatu plus the ting pratyaya. We all know that dhatu will indicate the phala and vyapara. These are the basics of karaka prakaranam. So dhatu will indicate phala like vikliti, and vyapara, which is vikliti anukula vyaparaha. So dhatuna kim nirdishyate iti chet tatra phalam nirdishyate, no chet vyaparaha nirdishyate. Pratyayena kim nirdishyate? Ting pratyaya over here can indicate either the karta, or it can indicate the karma, or it can indicate the bhava. That's exactly the essence of the sutram lak karmani cha bhave cha karma kebhyah. We have seen this in the vakyartha also. So tatra ting pratyayena kim nirdishyate? Karta nirdishyate, karma nirdishyate, no chet bhavaha nirdishyate. यत्र कर्ता निर्दिश्यते तत्र संख्या तथा पुरुषस्य निर्देशः अपि भवति। देवदत्तः पठति, अहं पठामि, सर्वे पठन्ति. So whenever there is an indication of karta, it will also be accompanied by sankhya. Ramaha pathati, Ramaha pathanti. So there is an indication of sankhya. It will also be, indicate. It will also indicate the purusha. Ramaha pathati, tvam pathasi, aham pathami. So it indicates the purusha. Similarly, when it indicates the karma, Ramena granthaha pathyate, Ramena granthaha pathyante, Ramena pustakam drishyate, Ramena tvam drishyase, Ramena aham drishye. तत्रापि संख्यायाः निर्देशः भवति, पुरुषस्य च निर्देशः भवति. परन्तु यत्र प्रत्ययेन केवलं भावः निर्दिश्यते तत्र संख्या अपि नास्ति, पुरुषः अपि नास्ति. रामेण गम्यते, सर्वैः गम्यते, मया गम्यते, पुत्रेण गम्यते, सीतया गम्यते, सर्वत्र तत्र गम्यते 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 इत्येव भवति. न हि तत्र गम्येते गम्यन्ते गम्यसे इत्येतानि रूपाणि भवितुम् अर्हन्ति. So the essence over here is that when you have a ting pratyaya indicating the bhava, it cannot accompany sankhya and purusha. On the other hand, when you jump into the krudantas, tatrapi dhatuna kim nirdishate iti chet phalam vyaparaha, that is same. Tatrapi pratyena kim nirdishate chet karta karma bhavaha, किमर्थम कर्तरी कृत इति कृत प्रत्ययेन कर्ता निर्दिशते, भाव कर्मणोः इति अपि तत्र तयोरेव कृत्यक्त खलर्थाः इति सूत्रमस्ति, तत्र भावस्य कर्मणः अपि च निर्देशः भवति. सो krut pratyay can also indicate sometimes karta, sometimes karma, and sometimes bhava. Where it indicates a karta, it will indicate the sankhya and the lingam. So Ramaha Pachakaha or Ramaha Pachakaha and so on. So Devadattaha Lekhakaha, Sita Lekhika, Vayam Lekhakaha. So अत्र संख्यायाः निर्देशः भवति, लिङ्गस्य अपि निर्देशः भवति. अनेनैव प्रकारेण कर्मणि प्रयोगे यत्र कृत्प्रत्ययः प्रयुज्यते सत् राम किं वदामः, रामः हसितः, रामाः हसिताः इत्यत्र कर्मणि रामेण wrong example. You can have say Ramena Gramam Gatam, Ramena Gramaha Gataha, Ramena Gramaha Gataha. So Ramena Aham Drushtaha, Ramena Vayam Drushtaha. So Atrapi Ramena Sita Drushta, Ramena Phalam Drushtam. So Atra Karmani Prayoge api Sankhya Bhavitumarhati, Lingam api Bhavitumarhati. The more interesting point is when you come to the bhava nirdesha, like for example gamaniya, then in case of the krudantas, the bhava can also be accompanied by sankhya or lingam. So gamaniye or karaniye karye vilambaha na kartavyaha. So गमनीयं ग्रामं दूरम अस्ति और गमनीये ग्रामे उत्सवः प्रवर्तते. So गमनीये ग्रामे तत्र गमनीये इति भावस्य निर्देशः. No chet whatever we are going to study in this particular section, say पाठः इति शब्दं स्वीकुर्मः. घै प्रत्ययान्त पाठः इति भाववाचकः शब्दः अस्ति. और लेखनम् इति शब्दः स्वीकुर्मः. तस्य लेखनेन महान संतोषः, तस्य लेखने वैचित्र्यं विद्यते. So when you have a krut pratyaya indicating the bhava, it accompanies the sankhya and it accompanies the lingam. I think the previous gamaniya grame was a wrong example. You should not take that because there gamaniya grama there is a visheshana vishesha, so it was of course indicating the karma. But you say lekhanam or you say pathaha, pakaha, devadattaha pake pravartate. So Devadattaha Pathasya Adhyanam Karoti. So in all these cases, the Pake Pravartate or Lekhane Vaichitriam, in all these examples that I quoted right now, you can have the Sankhya and the Lingam along with the Bhava. So this is a precise or fundamental difference In case of bhava being indicated by tingantas, the sankhyadehe tatra bhavena nirdeshaha na bhavati. On the other hand, when the bhava is indicated by the krudantas, sankhyadehe nirdeshaha avashyam bhavati. We'll see some more examples and this will be clear, but this is a fundamental difference that should be at the back of our mind. Tatra sankhyadehe nirdeshaha tingantasya vishaye na kriyate, krudantasya vishaye tu sankhyadehe nirdeshaha avashyam kriyate. अतएव तिङ् प्रत्ययेन यदा भावः निर्दिश्यते तदा किं वदामः. लुक एट दिस पर्टिकुलर पैराग्राफ. लक्कर्मणि च भावे च कर्मकेभ्यः इति सूत्रेण तिङ् प्रत्ययैः भावस्य निर्देशः भवति. पच्यते, लिख्यते, गम्यते and so on. Because this bhava does not accompany the sankhya or the purusha, we say this is asattvavachi nirdesha. As I mentioned, there is a fundamental difference between the bhava indicated using the ting pratyaya and the bhava indicated using the krut pratyaya. When the bhava is indicated using the ting pratyaya, it does not indicate sankhya or purusha. Therefore, asya asattvavachi iti nirdeshah iti namna nirdeshah kriyate. Atra lingasya sankhyayaha vibhaktehe अन्वयः नास्ति. You do not need a separate linga, you do not need a sankhya, you do not need a vibhakti, anything. You just have that particular dhatu, one specific pratyaya, and that's it. Moreover, that particular kriya, asattvavachini kriya, this particular kriya, swayam paripurna asti. Ramena gamyate iti vadamaschet tatra anya kriya napekshate. This is a self-contained statement. On the other hand, or as a contrast to it, look at the other sentence like, say, lekhane, devadattasya lekhane वैचित्र्यम, देवदत्तस्य पठने माधुर्यम, अस्ति, वर्तते, भवति, विद्यते. An additional kriya will be required over there. So अत्र तिङ् प्रत्ययेन यत्र भावस्य निर्देशः भवति तत्र क्रिया असत्ववाची अस्ति, सा परिपूर्णा अस्ति, अन्यक्रियायाः तत्र अपेक्षा नास्ति. On the other hand, कृत् प्रत्ययेन यत्र भावस्य निर्देशः भवति, which of the sutras तयोरेव कृत्यक्त खलर्थाः इति अस्ति. भावे इति इदानीमेव अस्मिन् अधिकारे नपुंसके भावेक्तः निष्ठा प्रत्ययस्य समये अस्माभिः अधीतम्. एतेषां सूत्राणाम् अध्ययन समये किं दृष्टम्? एतैः सूत्रैः कृत् प्रत्ययैः भावस्य निर्देशः भवति. पाकः इति घञ् प्रत्ययन्तमस्ति. लेखनम्, krutihi is a ktin pratyaya, which is sheet number 9, part of sheet number 8. So etadrishah nirdeshah sattvavachi nirdeshah, because it will always be accompanied with a vibhakti, with a linga, with a vachana. Atra sankhya vibhakti lingena sah अन्वयः आवश्यकः. सत्ववाचिनी क्रिया स्वयं परिपूर्णा नास्ति, अन्य क्रियायाः अपेक्षा तत्र विद्यते. सो पाक इति केवलं परिपूर्णं नास्ति. तेन पच्यते इति वदामश्चेत् परिपूर्णं वाक्यं, परन्तु पाक इत्यपि भावः एव, परन्तु तत्र अन्या क्रिया अपेक्षते. पाकं करोति, पाके प्रवर्तते इति सर्वम्. नो चेत् लेखनस्य विषयः. So there is लेखनस्य विषयः वर्तते. So there is some other kriya required. कृतौ प्रवर्तते, कृति इति अस्ति, तत्र कृतौ प्रवर्तते. अनेन प्रकारेण अन्या क्रिया तत्र अपेक्षते. So this is a fundamental difference between the way bhava is indicated using the ting pratyaya and the bhava is indicated using the krut pratyaya. And when this bhava is indicated using the ting pratyaya, this bhava is called sadhya avasthapanna bhava. This is a technical term like vriddhi, guna, sanyoga and so on. Sadhya avasthapanna bhava. Sadhya avasthapanna bhava is the bhava which has been expressed using nothing anta, using an asattvavachi kriya which does not require an additional kriya on the top of it. So sadhya avasthapanna bhava and the other name for the bhava indicated using the krut pratyaya is siddha avasthapanna bhava. So somebody is asking, are there any apavadas for this particular distinction? There will be individual apavadas. So for example, ktin pratyaya is only used in the strilinga. So it doesn't make sense to have a ktin pratyaya in the pullinga or in the napumsakalinga. But these individual apavadas are hard coded over there. If you take a general overview, the ting pratyena nirdishtaha तत्र भावः असत्ववाची तत्र लिंगम कार विभक्तिः वचनम इत्यस्य अपेक्षा पुरुषः इत्यस्य अपेक्षा नास्ति कृत प्रत्ययेन यः निर्दिष्टः भावः सः सत्ववाची. It will need a linga, whether it is pullinga, strilinga, napumsakalinga, something will definitely be required. Similarly, some vibhakti, some vachana will be required. You cannot just say lekhana, you cannot just say kruti, you cannot just say paka. It has to be accompanied with some linga, some vibhakti, some vachana, and then an additional kriya. Krutim karoti, krutau pravartate, krutaye praptam, or something, or dattam, something. So, in this manner, अत्र तिङ् प्रत्ययेन निर्दिष्टः भावः साध्य अवस्थापन्नः भावः अत्र कृत् प्रत्ययेन निर्दिष्टः भावः सिद्ध अवस्थापन्नः भावः. Somebody is asking what is avasthapanna? It is a simple sandhi. Avastha apanna. Apanna means reached. Sadhya avastha apanna. So this is the ultimate goal. Beyond that, you do not need any extra kriya. So this is the sadhya. What is the sadhya? Eventually, where we want to go, we want to go to a state from where additional kriya will not be required. So that's why it's called sadhya. Whereas siddha avasthapanna bhava, it is an intermediate state. From there, you will need another kriya on the top of it. So we say siddha avasthapanna bhava. What is the exact place where these words have been originated? I don't know, but they are there in the Vakyapadiyam, as you can see from the next slide. So this particular karika shown on the next, on this slide over here, it shows the difference between a sadhya bhava and a siddha bhava using a karika from Vakyapadiyam. All this that is talking so far is part of arthika granthas. It doesn't, it has nothing to do with prakriya, or it has nothing to do with prakruti pratyay combination. It is all about interfering or inferring, not interfering, inferring, analyzing the meanings of the words. So arthika granthas, starting with Vakyapadiyam and then Bhushanasara and Manjusha and others, they have a lot detailed analysis of this particular topic. So this is a karika from Vakyapadiyam. It says साध्यत्वेन क्रिया तत्र धातुरूप निबंधना. धातुरूप इत्युक्ते तिङन्त. तिङन्तेन यत्र क्रिया निबध्यते तत्र साध्यत्वेन सा निबध्यते इति उच्यते. सिद्धभावस्तु यः तस्याः सः घयादि निबन्धनः. So घयादि, ghay and other krut pratyas, when that kriya is bound using the ghay and other krut pratyas, it will be called, or it is supposed to reach the siddha bhava when it is linked with the tinganta, ting pratyaya. It is supposed to or considered to reach the sadhya bhava. So sadhya avasthapanna bhava versus siddha avasthapanna bhava. साध्य अवस्थापन्न भावः तिङ् पदैः अभिधीयते. सिद्ध अवस्थापन्न भावः कृत् प्रदैः अभिधीयते. साध्य अवस्थापन्न भावे क्रियान्तरस्य अपेक्षा नास्ति. सिद्ध अवस्थापन्न भावे क्रियान्तरस्य अपेक्षा विद्यते. साध्य अवस्थापन्न भावः असत्वभूतः. तत्र लिंगम संख्या विभक्तिः नापेक्ष्यते. अतः असत्वभूतः. सिद्ध अवस्थापन्नः भावः सत्वभूत. सत्व means द्रव्यम. It requires those additional entities. लिंग, संख्या, विभक्ति, एतेषां तत्र अपेक्षा अस्ति. There is some grammatical errors on this line. I'll fix them. लिंगम, संख्या, विभक्ति, सर्वम अपेक्षते. No, this is correct. Ayam bhavaha lingam sankhyaam vibhaktim apekshate. No issues. Ayam bhavaha lingam sankhyaam vibhaktim na apekshate. Ataha atra siddhavasthapanna bhavaha sattvabhutaha asti iti uchyate. And what are the examples? Devadattena pachyate, chhatraihi pachyate, maya pachyate, tvaya pachyate, gruhe pachyate, pratidinam pachyate, paropakaraya pachyate. Sarvatra, there is no difference. You have to use pachyate, pachyate, pachyate. On the other hand, Devadattaha pakam karoti, Devadattaha pake pravartate, Devadattaha pakena trupyati, Devadattaha pakaya jalam dadati, and so on. So you have different vachanas, different lingas, different vibhaktis being used in case of a bhava which is indicated by the krut pratyaya. And that's exactly the point of discussion. So siddha avasthapannaha bhavaha तस्य निर्देशार्थं भावाधिकारे पाठिताः प्रत्ययाः भवन्ति. So even when we started by saying a single sutram called bhave, there is so much embedded in that bhave. It is not just the normal bhava, it is siddha avasthapanna bhava that is being indicated by the pratyaya ghai and others in this adhikara. That's exactly the essence of the sutram 3318 bhave. भावे वाच्ये धातोः घञ् इति प्रत्ययः भवति. घञ् इति तत्र पदरुज विषस्पृशो घञ् इत्यस्माद् अनुवर्तते. So that's the anuvrutti that's going to go all the way throughout this sheet. Example: pach plus घञ् पाकः, त्यज plus घञ् त्यागः, रंज or raj plus घञ् रागः, and so on. Kriya samanyavachi bhavatihi. So this bhavati word is kriya samanyavachi, means it is applicable for all dhatus, not for a particular kriya like pacha or tyaja, but it is kriya samanyavachi. Sarvesham dhatunam vishaye atra ghaya pratyaya bhavati. So he makes it clear. Tena kriyamanaha artha nirdeshaha ityukte bhavaha iti arthaha sarvadhatu vishayaha. It is this particular bhava for all dhatus can be indicated using the ghaya pratyaya. So like anubul trucho, for example, anubul pratyay is applicable for all dhatus, truch pratyay is applicable for all dhatus, nishtha pratyay is applicable for all dhatus. In the same way, this pratyaya ghaya is applicable for all dhatus. Obviously, there will be apavadas, but as an utsarga, it is applicable for all dhatus. Dhatvarthascha dhatuna eva uchyate. So dhatvartha, the phala and the vyapara, that is indicated by the dhatu. Yaha tasya siddhata nama dharmaha. I spent last 40 minutes in explaining siddha versus sadhya. So siddhata nama dharmaha tatra ghayadaya pratyayaha vidhiyante. Kim nama siddhata dhar ityukte न्यासे अपि स्पष्टीकृतमस्ति. धात्वर्थस्य सिद्धता नामयो धर्मः तत्र घयादयः प्रत्ययाः विधीयन्ते. ततो युक्तः प्रत्ययार्थस्य लिङ्गसङ्ख्यायोगः. सिद्ध धर्म means that there will be linga, there will be vachana, there will be vibhakti on the top of it. That's exactly what is explained over here. सर्वलिंग संख्या संबंध योग्यम प्रातिपदिकार्थ सामान्य निमित्तम प्रत्ययत्वेन उपादीयते. So what is the pratyaya giving? The pratyaya is giving the basic pratipadika. It will later on turn into pullinga, strilinga, napumsakalinga, ekvachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana, prathama, dvitiya, tritiya. That is not being given by the pratyaya over here. Sarvalinga, all lingas are allowed. Sarva sankhya, संबंध कारक अस्मिन् अर्थे सर्व संबंध योग्यम क्रियया भवित यह संबंधः भवति सः कारक संज्ञकः. So this sambandha indicates the karaka, the vibhakti, the sankhya, vachana and linga. So sarvalinga sankhya sambandha yogyam pratipadikaartha samanya nimittam tatra pratyanimittvena upadiyate. That's exactly the explanation of this. Pullinga vachanam cha na atra tantram, not necessarily only in the pullingas. So ghaya pratyaya might be only used in the pullinga. I will come to that in 5 minutes. But bhavadhikare ye pratyayaha santi. ते त्रिषु लिंगेषु भवितुम् अर्हन्ति. लिंगान्तरे वचनान्तरे अपि प्रत्ययाः भवन्ति. Please understand this point. It is not saying that same pratyaya will be applied across three lingas. It is not saying that just like we have pataniyaha, pataniya, pataniyam, same pratyaya will be applied across three lingas. That's not what it is saying. All that it is saying is that you will need a linga, you will need a sankhya, you will need a karaka. contrast this with Devadattena Pachyate. You don't need a linga, you don't need a sankhya, you don't need a karaka. It is always Pachyate. Does not even change. On the other hand, here for some pratyayas like tin pratyaya, you will be forced a strilinga. For some other lut pratyaya, you will be forced a napumsakalinga. For some other pratyayas, ghai, you will be forced a pullinga. Even there, you can do prathama ekvachanam or prathama dvivachanam, prathama bahuvachanam, and so on. So, pullinga ekvachanam atra natantram, लिंगांतरे वचनांतरे अपि प्रत्ययाः भवन्ति पक्तिः पचनं पाकौ पाकाः इति कौमुदीं पश्यामः सिद्धावस्थापन्ने धात्वर्थे वाच्ये 40 minutes required for explaining these three words. I hope it's now clear to everybody. सिद्धावस्थापन्ने धात्वर्थे वाच्ये धातोः घञ् स्यात् घञ् इति उत्सर्गः औत्सर्गिकरूपेण प्रत्ययः दिस घञ् प्रत्ययेन निर्मिताः शब्दाः नित्यं पुल्लिंगे एव भवन्ति. So linga is required and in this case is going to be pullinga. So bhavadhikare घञ् प्रत्ययेन निर्मिताः शब्दाः. There is a sutram in the Linganushasanam. So Linganushasanam is also there in our website. You can go to ashtadhyayi.com Linganushasanam and there is a sutram called Ghayabantaha. पुल्लिंगाधिकारे इदं सूत्रमस्ति पाकः त्याकः करः गरः भावार्थे एव इदम्. सो भावार्थे यः घञ् प्रत्ययः अस्ति तादृशः and abantah, two pratyayas are given घञ् and अप. I'll come to that. So भावार्थे यः प्रत्ययः अस्ति सः प्रत्ययः घञ् प्रत्ययः अपि च अप प्रत्ययः तैः निर्मिताः शब्दाः पुल्लिंगे एव भवन्ति इति अत्र अस्य सूत्रस्य अर्थः. Now there is one question over here that I can take. So why, the question reads like this: why would somebody prefer a usage of krudanta where an extra linga or vachana or vibhakti is needed? The easier way would be just to resort to the tinganta where no extra vibhakti vachana is needed. So ramena gamyate, sarvaihi gamyate. Instead of doing that, why would one jump on a siddhya bhava, on a krudanta which needs additional entities? The answer is these additional entities can give you ability to express more complexity. So Ramaha pake pravartate. No chet Ramaha pakena truptaha. Go to the previous slide. Ramaha pakaya jalam dadati. These kind of constructs you cannot express purely using a tinganta. So here paka pacha dhatoho tingantam tatra karaniyam. इत्येव निश्चयः अस्ति चेत् रामः पाकाय जलं ददाति इति सरलरूपेण तस्य अभिधानं न भवितुम् अर्हति. देवदत्तेन पच्यते नो चेत् यज्ञदत्तेन पच्यते तद् कार्यार्थं देवदत्तः जलं ददाति. Some complex statement has to be given even there karyartham. So you are anyway using some krut pratyaya over there. So allowing these kind of constructs pakaya, pake, pakena, it allows you, or providing these kinds of construct is a way to express more complexity which is not otherwise expressible using just by saying chhatraihi pachyate, gruhe pachyate, devadattena pachyate, and so on. So tingantas always, it creates simple sentences. For creating complex sentences, joining two sentences together, krudantas is a very beautiful tool, and that's how this bhave pratyaya, bhavadhikara pratyayas are pretty useful. Agre gacchamaha. The immediate next sutram is akartari cha karake samnyayam. Tatra prathamam sutram bhave prathamaha adhikaraha. Tatra agrimam sutram dvitiyaha adhikaraha akartari cha karake samnyayam. So घञ् प्रत्ययान्त शब्देन कर्तृभिन्नस्य कारकस्य, it's pretty clear, अकर्तरि. So that's कर्मणि, करणे, संप्रदाने, अपादाने, अधिकरणे, other karakas. So घञ् प्रत्ययान्त शब्देन कर्तृभिन्न कारकस्य संज्ञायां निर्देशः भवति. In Bhashya, it is made clear or clarified that this samnyayam is a fuzzy condition. So sometimes a samnyayam api bhavati. So sometimes, purely looking at the prayogas. So pramukhyena tatra sarvatra samnyayam bhavati, kutrachit a samnyayam bhavati. कथं ज्ञायते? चकारः अस्ति तेन ज्ञायते। अकर्तरिकारके संज्ञायाम् असंज्ञायां च इति तत्र अध्याहारः। सो प्रायः सर्वत्र संज्ञायां कुत्रचित् असंज्ञायां प्रयोगं दृष्ट्वा प्रयोगम् अनुसृत्य असंज्ञायाम् अपि भवति इति तत्र अर्थः। सो पश्यामः, कर्तृवर्जिते कारके संज्ञायां विषये धातोः घञ् भवति। सो नाउ अंडरस्टैंड, इट इज other than karta, so it can be any other karma depending on the usage. So prasyanti tam atra karma karakam asti. Prasyanti, to throw, प्र प्लस अस असक्षेपणे इति दिवादिगणस्य धातु अस्यति इति तत्र रूपं भवति। सो प्रास्यन्ति जनाः, प्रास्यन्ति, कम प्रास्यन्ति, दैट इज द कर्म पद। प्रासः, स्पीयर, arrow or a weapon that is thrown. So prasyanti tam prasaha. Prasivyanti, they sew or they stitch. Tam prasevaha, again karmani. Aharanti tasmadrasam, apadane prayogaha. Aharanti tasmadrasam iti aharaha. So here the ghai pratyaya is used pra plus asa plus karmani ghai. Pra plus siva plus karmani ghai. Pra, no, a plus ru plus apadane ghai. So aharanti tasmadrasam iti aharaha. Are these samasas? So prasyanti tam prasaha ityatra saralam krudantam asti. तसेवः आहारः सर्वत्र सरलं कृदन्तम् अस्ति। तत्र गति समासः अपि विद्यते, उपसर्गः अस्ति अतः, परन्तु सः भिन्नः विषयः। So somebody was asking, are these samasas? These are not exactly samasas, but they are krudantas, like kumbham karoti saha kumbhakarah, in the same way ahranti tasmadrasam iti aharaha. समासस्य उदाहरणं दत्तमस्ति, मधुर आहारः, मधुराहारः, तक्षशीला आहारः, तक्षशीलाहारः, and so on. So this is the basic essence of the sutram. कर्तृभिन्ने कारके तत्र धातोः घ इति प्रत्ययः भवति। अकर्तरि इति किं? मिषति असौ इति मेषः। अत्र असौ, अयम् इति अर्थः अस्ति, कर्तृकारकम् अस्ति। सो यू डू अ नॉर्मल नन्दिग्रही पचादिभ्यो लुणिन्यचः इत्यनेन अच् प्रत्ययः भवति। अत्र अस्य प्रकरणस्य चिन्तनमपि न करणीयं, घञ् प्रत्ययः नैव भवितुमर्हति। सो मिष्यति असौ इति मेषः इति उदाहरणम्। संज्ञायाम् इति किं? कर्तव्यः कटः। सो क्रू धातुः अस्ति, तत्र भावः अस्ति चेदपि संज्ञान, नॉट भाव, अकर्तरी कारकम् अस्ति चेदपि कर्मणि कारकम् अस्ति। सो कर्तव्यः कटः इत्यत्र कर्मणि कारकम् अस्ति। सो अकर्तरी कारकम् अस्ति चेदपि तत्र संज्ञा नास्ति, अतः घञ् प्रत्ययं कृत्वा कारः कटः इति न भवति। If standalone ghai pratyaya was allowed, you could have done karah katah. That's not allowed. So you use the other pratyaya, tavya pratyaya, kartavyah katah. And then he gives a hint. Samnya vyabhicharartha chakarah. Vyabhichara means to derail from the rules, to go away from the rules. So samnya vyabhicharartha chakarah. So this chakara is to allow non-samnyas also for sometimes. So in other cases like prasa, praseva, ahara, all these are samnyas. Samnyas doesn't mean vyakarana samnyas, it means generally acceptable rudhi words, not necessarily names of people, but rudhi words, generally accepted words with a specific meaning. So when you say prasa, it means spear. When you say ahara, it means bhojanam. So specific words with specific meanings, they are being represented over here as samnya. They can be derived with this sutram, but samnya vyabhicharartha chakaraha. So ko bhavata dayaha dattaha. So bhavata dayaha kaha dattaha. Daya, da iti da. Daya is what? Share. When a estate gets divided, individual share is called daya. So tatra daya iti samnya shabdha nasti, rudhi shabdha nasti. This is just a common term used to indicate that part. So tatra ghai pratyaya bhavitum arhati. Ko bhavata labha labdha. Labha is just a profit. It's not, or a benefit. It's not specifically related to a situation. सो को भवता लाभः लब्धः, अत्र अपि घञ् प्रत्यय अस्ति, अत्र दा इत्यत्र अपि घञ् प्रत्यय अस्ति, अतः अत्र एतयोः उदाहरणयोः संज्ञा नास्ति तथापि अत्र अयं प्रत्ययः भवति। सो लाभः लब्धः दायः दत्तः सर्वत्र कर्मणि कारके अस्ति, अकर्तरि कारकम् अस्ति, परन्तु तत्र संज्ञा नास्ति, अतः अत्र संज्ञा व्यभिचारार्थः चकारः इति उच्यते। Let's go to Kaumudi and then I'll come to this next very beautiful part given in Kashaka. So let's go to Kaumudi. Kaumudyam किं लिखितमस्ति? संज्ञायाम् इति प्रायिकम्, प्रायिकम् sometimes, संज्ञायाम् इति प्रायिकम् बहुत्र परन्तु न सर्वत्र, को भवता लाभो लब्धः, and then he says इत उत्तरम् भावे अकर्तरि च कारके इति कृत्यलुटो बहुलं यावद्वयमपि अनुवर्तते. So ita uttaram, from here bhave and akartari cha karake, both of these, so bhave and akartari cha karake, both of these, they go all together till before napumsake bhavektah, or even that krutyaluto bahulam. So look at this, 33112 is where it is ending. So if you go to 33113, that will be krutyaluto bahulam. 33113 कृत्यल्युटो बहुलं, तस्मात् पूर्वम् आक्रोशे नय्यनिः इति यावत् पर्यन्तम् अस्य अधिकारस्य व्याप्तिः अस्ति. सो इत उत्तरं भावे अकर्ति च कारके इति कृत्यल्युटो बहुलम् इति यावत् द्वयमपि अनुवर्तते. So somebody is asking ko bhavata dayaha dattaha, what is the exact meaning of this? Bhavata dayaha kaha dattaha, what portion was given by you? So kaha dattaha, who go, or kaha dattaha, so kaha dattaha doesn't would not necessarily mean who was given, so not the receiving party, because the receiving party will be sampradana. So kasmai dattaha ityeva tatra bhavet. So kaha bhavatah daya datta is the entity that you give, not the receiving party, because the receiving party will still be in sampradana. So kaha bhavatah daya dattaha, which part, which portion you gave to say somebody else, that is the meaning. And ko bhavata labha labda, and what did you get in return? So you gave somebody, and what was the benefit that you got? So ko bhavata labha labda, either way. Now comes something very interesting. It very closely relates to what we studied in the previous class. Look at this sutram, akartari cha karake samnyayam. This akartari word itself says that it is the non-kartari karaka, which means karmani, sampradana, apadana, and so on. The reason why I am focusing on this word is this starts with a and there is a nay samasa. So all our discussion of paryudasa and prasajya pratishedha should pop up in the mind. Remember, let us shatrushana chau a prathama samanadhikarane, nochet ade cha upadeshe ashiti, anachi cha, एतेषु सर्वेषु उदाहरणेषु पर्युदासः तथा प्रसज्य प्रतिषेधः इति पक्षद्वयं भवितुमर्हति. तत्तत् स्थले भाष्यकारैः व्याख्यातृभिः उक्तमस्ति पर्युदासः भवेत् नो चेत् प्रसज्य प्रतिषेधः भवेत्, and so on. Now let's assume that, or rather let's recollect what was the question in the vakyartha last week. So tatra latashshatrushanachau aprathama samanadhikarane ityatra aprathama samanadhikarane iti paryudasah asit uta prasajya pratishedha asit iti tatra moolah prashnah. But the reason why that question was asked, and as it was explained, clarified in the Purva Paksha, was that in case of prasajya pratishedha, there is actually a problem with the anvaya. A present over here in all these sutras, anachicha, or say aprathama samanadhikarane, or say ashiti, or even over here akartari. So a present over here does not have an anvaya with the kriya. In case of prasajya pratishedha, it is the negation of the kriya that is to be done. It is in case of paryudasa, it is the negation of the actual entity that is to be done. Negation of entity, we can mix it, it will make sense pretty easily. So abrahmanam anaya ityukte brahmana sadrusham brahmana bhinnam anaya. So there the entity has been negated, that is pretty easy to understand. But in case of prasajya pratishedha, that has to be picked from the word aprathama samanadhikarane or from the word anachi, and it has to be linked with the kriya. That is slightly difficult to understand, and that was precisely the question in the Vakyartha last time, that there is no Anvaya at all. A does not have an Anvaya with the Kriya. How can you justify a Prasajya Pratishedha Paksha? And the answer that we gave at that time was that particular paksha is required in the sutras like Anachicha or many other, where a Prasajya Pratishedha is the only acceptable answer, because we have to justify the prayogas, and prayogas cannot be justified using Paryudasa. Idanim kinchit asmin eva vishay chintanam kurmah. Let us take these two pakshas, Paryudasa and Prasajya Pratishedha, and think about this. Paryudasa is easy to understand because a is linked directly with that word. A nachicha or a kartari would mean non-kartari. The name has to be negated. On the other hand, in case of Prasajya Pratishedha, it is harder to understand because a has to be lifted from the place where it is and it has to be taken somewhere else. Now let us assume for a minute that in Vyakarana Shastra, there is no concept of Prasajya Pratishedha. Only concept that is available in the Vyakarana Shastra is Paryudasa, because it is easy to understand, because it is the most obvious one. It does not require rearranging, it does not require breaking the Anvaya and forcing an additional Anvaya. So Tatra Kim Chintayamaha? There is no concept of Prasajya Pratishedha in Vyakarana Shastra. The only concept in Vyakarana Shastra is Paryudasa. Keep this particular hypothesis, assumption in mind and look at this sutram. Akartaricha karake samnyayam. इदानीं प्रसज्य प्रतिषेध पक्षः नास्ति एव, केवलं पर्युदास पक्षः, अतः अत्रापि पर्युदास पक्षस्यैव आश्रयः. So akartari in paryudasa will automatically mean either karmani or sampradana or apadana or adhikarana or karana and so on. Now comes a very interesting question. यदि यदि केवलं पर्युदास पक्षः एव तत्र भवति, तर्हि अकर्तरि इत्येव उच्यमाने तत्र कर्मणि अधिकरणे संप्रदाने इति अर्थः अवश्यं सिद्ध्यति. तर्हि तत्र कारके इति शब्दस्य किं प्रयोजनम्? Why is this word karake added in this sutram? One could just say akartari cha samnyayam, because akartari would anyway mean karmani, karmani, karane, sampradane, apadane, all other karakas. Why is this redundant word karake being used over here? So the word karake in this sutram is actually a redundant word. The presence of this word indicates that our original hypothesis was itself wrong. What was our original hypothesis? The only interpretation allowed is Paryudasa interpretation. That hypothesis is wrong. Because if we don't have that starting hypothesis, then on this sutram we have a choice between Paryudasa and Prasajya Pratishedha. And Akartari will not immediately mean Karmani or Karane, because there is also Prasajya Pratishedha component which we have to address. If Prasajya Pratishedha is not there, if only Paryudasa component was there, then Akartari would directly mean Karmani and others. The word Karake was useless over there. So this word karake is actually a jnapaka, is actually an indicator that Prasajya Pratishedha is also an acceptable paksha. In this sutra, it will still be Paryudasa, because akartari karake, which means karmani karake, karane karake, sampradane karake, and so on. So specifically talking about this sutra, it will only be Paryudasa. But when the sutra gets interpreted in a Paryudasa style, karake becomes redundant, karake becomes vyartha, karake becomes useless. Vyartham sadnyapayati tatra anyaha api pakshaha bhavitum arhati. That's exactly what is written over here. Karaka grahanam paryudase na kartavyam. Had there been only Paryudasa paksha, Karaka grahanam was not useful. What was useless? Tat kriyate, kimartham kriyate, prasajya pratishedha pakshaha api asti. Ityukte, this naya samasa, akartari is a naya samasa. That naya samasa can also exist in the Paryudasa, in Prasajya Pratishedha Paksha. So Prasajya Pratishedhe api samasaha asti iti jnapanartham. So understand this. Akartari cha karake samnyayam ityasmin sutre vidyamanam karake iti padam prasajya pratishedhasya jnapakam. Vyakrana shastre prasajya pratishedhasya jnapakam. Asmin sutre na. In this sutra it is paryudasa only, because akartari karake, which means that karaka will be needed, which means that only the kartari has to be inverted. Karmani, karane, and so on is an possible option, possible choice over here. But if in the Vyakarana Shastra the only Prasajya Pratishedha, only Paryudasa was an acceptable solution, then there was no need of Karake being added over here. Somebody is saying, can you show what does the Bhashya say in this context? Let's take a look at the Bhashya. Starts with this karka grahanam kimartham. So obviously this has been thoroughly discussed in the bhasha. Let me just check if there is a clear explanation or of the word prasajya pratishedha over here. So somewhere over here he'll say, I'm just looking at the uh, prasajya. So I don't think this word occurs in the bhasha. So, but he does take this particular karaka grahanam kimartham paksha. And he says uttara sutre api karaka grahanam iti avashyakam asti akartari iti kartrupadeshedhat anyasmin kartari kartrusadrushe karye vinyasate kimcha anyat kartrusadrusham karakam. But he does not clearly seem to say over here uh, uh, Prasajya Pratisheda is not clearly written over here. But this is the Paksha that the Vrittikara gives. He is very clear in this context. Karake, Karaka Grahanam, Paridasa Pakshe, Nakartavam. And it is a very convincing Paksha. It's a very solid Paksha. Like if you think about it, the lack of word Karake, I mean, Karake word is completely useless over here. The lack of word Karake is won't do anything. Right? So Akartari Samnyayam would still mean Karmani if there was no Prasajya Pratishedha. And now somebody is asking, why is this sutra not being interpreted as Prasajya Pratishedha, or what would happen if this gets interpreted as Prasajya Pratishedha? So Paryudasa means, let's recollect, Paryudasa means Akartari will automatically indicate Karmani, Karane, and so on. Prasajya Pratishedha would mean that Kartari should not be there. Whether there is Karaka or not, we don't care. But if Karaka is there, it should not be Kartari. So that's not the paksha that we are resorting to, because karake is right given over here. So the word karake itself forces us the use of paryudasa, but the basic point is it forces the use of paryudasa at the same time showing the presence of prasajya pratisheda. If prasajya pratisheda was not there in Vyakarana Shastra, if paryudasa was the only possible interpretation in Vyakarana Shastra, then karake was useless, because akartare would immediately mean karane or bhave, or sorry, not bhave, karane or sampradane, apadane, and so on. But there is there is karake present in the sutram, which means that when you read this sutram, the Acharya Panini Maharshi expects that we get it out. As soon as we read akartari, we should get it out. Is it paryudasa or is it prasajya pratishedha? And then he says karake, which means hold on, it is paryudasa, because in the prasajya pratishedha paksha it can be karaka or non karaka, whereas in paryudasa paksha it has to be a karaka. Now there is a question, will it not defeat the very meaning of Nay Samasa association with Paryudasa? Yes, it kind of defeats the very meaning of the Nay Samasa in Paryudasa, but that's exactly the purpose of the word Karake. The word Karake says that when you take a sutram like Aprathama Samanadhikarane, A has a samasa with Prathama Samanadhikarane, A has no samasa with actual Kriya, but sometimes this samasa breaks up and goes and sits along with the kriya. How do you justify that? In the previous vakyartha, exactly this question was asked by the Purva Paksha. You remember, go back, open the Vakyartha. Exactly this question was asked by Purva Paksha, that there is no Anvaya of A with Kriya. So how can Prasajya Pratisheda be even a possibility in the Vyakarana Shastra? Forget about whether we want to use Prasajya Pratisheda for that particular sutra or not. That's a different discussion. But for Prasajya Pratishedha, you need to break the bond between A and Prathama Samanadhikarane. Let's take a simple example of Abrahmanam Anaya. So Abrahmanam Anaya ityatra Paryudasa Pakshaha asti chet Abrahmanam iti Anvayah. Parantu Prasajya Pratishedha asti chet A goes along with Anaya. So don't bring a Brahman. A goes with Anaya. So Anaya. Na Anaya iti arthaha. Brahmanam na Anaya. Either come empty handed or bring a Kshatriya. Either is okay. But don't bring a Brahmin. That's the Prasajya Pratishedha Paksha. So in Prasajya Pratishedha Paksha, the Anvaya between A and Brahmana has to be forcefully broken down. There is no Anvaya of A with Anaya that has to be forcefully established. In the Vakyartha, exactly the same question was asked, that why or who gives us authority to do all this? Abrahmanam ityatra a tatha brahmanah etayor madhye vidyamanasya samasasya bhedam krutva naya samasasya anyena sah anvayaha tatra yojaniyah katham nyayate. And the answer given by the acharya over there was prayogat. So you have prayogas like ramatta with a double takara, avadatta with a double takara, and those prayogas can only be justified by Prasajya Pratishedha interpretation of Anachicha. Paryudasa interpretation will not allow you, because you need a hala in the Paryudasa interpretation, which is not there in Ramatta or Avadatta. And therefore, the only accept, and therefore Prasajya Pratishedha is an acceptable paksha. Now, here we are saying that the word Karake is giving a hint that Prasajya Pratishedha Paksha exists in the Vyakarana Shastra. So Vyakarana Shastre Prasajya Pratishedha Pakshaha asti ityasya jnapakam karake iti shabdaha iti atra vrittikarena abhiprayah dattaha. There are multiple questions, comments. Give me 1 minute. Let me take a quick look at these. Okay, there is a slightly different question. I'll come to that a little bit later on. But before that, somebody says Nyasa is also giving some more explanation in this context. Let's open up. I mean, Nyasa has to justify the commentary. So Nyasa is a commentary on Kashika. So Nyasa cannot give a standalone, or Nyasa very rarely gives a standalone opinion. It has to justify what Kashika says. So here Kashika is saying that कारकग्रहणं पर्युदासेन कर्तव्यं तत् क्रियते प्रसज्य प्रतिषेध अपि समास अस्ति इति ज्ञापनार्थं. That's exactly what will be explained by Nyas over. Let's see in a minute. That's exactly what he says. Like यदि तर्हि पर्युदास एव एषः नय समासः स्यात्. If in the Vyakarana Shastra the only meaning of this Naya Samasa was Paryudasa, Karak Granam Anarthakam Syat. It was useless. Vinapi hi tena Karaka eva pratyayah labhyate. Prasajya Pratishedhe tu sadi Karak Granam Arthavat bhavati. Nahi tatra vinapi tena Karake pratyayah labhyate. So if the word Karaka was not there, then we had a dilemma. Is it a Prasajya Pratishedha or is it a Paryudasa? In the Prasajya Pratishedha Paksha, all that would mean, all that it would imply is you don't need a Kartari Karaka. It can either be some Karaka or non-Karaka, like say Ramasya Karakam Nasti. So Tadrusham non-Karakam iti bhavet, no chet tatra akartari Karakam iti bhavet. That is the interpretation in the Prasajya Pratishedha Paksha. In the Paryudasa Paksha, it has to be a Karaka, but it has to be a non-Kartari Karaka. So if the Paryudasa was the only acceptable interpretation, Karaka was useless. So presence of Karaka actually does two things. This word Karaka tells us that in this sutram we will use the Paryudasa. At the same time, it tells that in Vyakarana Shastra there will be Prasajya Pratishedha as one possible candidate for breaking a Naya Samasa like this. Even though there is no Anvaya, still there will be such a candidate that you have to consider when you look at sutras like, for example, Adecha Upadesheshiti. or for so adecha upadeshe shit is a classic example of prasajya pratishedha. Shit pratyayasya vivakshayam na bhavati anyatra sarvatra bhavati. So adecha upadeshe shiti anachicha, these are examples where we have prasajya pratishedha. We have prasajya pratishedha even when you cannot have a normal anvaya. Who allows you? In the previous vakyartha we learned that prayogas allow you. Now we are saying that there is a word karake, which is actually a hint given by Panini Maharshi that there will be prasajya pratishedha in this particular Vyakarana Shastra. Let us go on the previous slide. Somebody, on this slide itself, but there's a different question. Prasyanti anena iti prasaha iti bhavitum arhati va? Tadrisham na bhavati. Kimartham? Prasyanti means to throw. So the entity that is being thrown, a spear, for example, that is being thrown is prasyanti tam prasaha. Now one can say prasyanti anena iti prasaha iti prayogaha bhavati va? Iti atra prashnaha ityukte the karana with which it is thrown. In the same way, I can extend the question and say prasyanti asmin iti prasaha iti bhavati va? The entity in which something gets thrown, is it called prasa? So the answer is no, because this is samnyayam. The samnya is a prasa. It is used to indicate a spear or an arrow or a weapon that is thrown, and therefore the correct vritti is prasyanti tam prasaha. So how do you decide which karaka has to be employed in a vritti vakya? Prayogam drishtva, no chet tatra artham drishtva. भावे इति तु तत्र सरलमस्ति. अकर्तरि च कारके संज्ञायाम् इत्यत्र कीदृशं कारकं तत्र प्रयोगे प्रयोक्तव्यम्? तादृशं केवलं तत्र प्रयोगेनैव सिद्ध्यति. So why is prasyantitam prasaha correct? Why not prasyanti asmin prasaha? Why not prasyanti anena prasaha? Why not prasyanti asmat prasaha? It's purely prayogas. So this is a very big category. Akartari karake means what? You keep kartari aside and you have the entire ground to explore. You can have karmani, you can have karane, adhikarane, whatever you want. Pick up the one that's based, that reflects the usage, and that is the reason why samnyayam is important. Only the well-known words, not the words that you can derive on your own, but only the well-known words in the language, or not even the well-known words, not just any random sadhu word, but a word which has a very particular meaning, a rudhi shabda should be derived using this particular sutram. Uh, So there is a question: are there too many instances of interpreting prasajya pratishedha instead of paryudasa, or are there only few? So somebody asked a question, and somebody else has actually answered that question. So I just did Ashtadhyayi Vyakhyananveshanam right now. For paryudasa, we get some 40 references, and for prasajya pratishedha, we get some 25 references. People can explore more on the subject. So one person seems to have asked a question, somebody gave the answer to that question. So I would say it's almost equal. So if, what I can definitely tell is it's not one-off case. Had prasajya pratishedha been 5%, then there was no reason to do all these discussion. But prasajya pratishedha is definitely some significant non-ignorable set of sutras. So anachicha is prasajya pratishedha, adecha upadeshe shiti is prasajya pratishedha, Latashatrusana Chava Prathama Samanadhikarane is Prasajya Pratishedha. So here itself I picked up 3 examples of Prasajya Pratishedha. So there will be some more examples, but it's definitely, so the number, somebody did an analysis. So even if we take these numbers as ballpark numbers, say 40 sutras are Paryudasa and some 25 sutras Prasajya Pratishedha is what he's saying. There are a few more comments, not questions. So why is Panini leaving us to figure all this out? Because Vyakhyanato Vishesha Pratipatti. I mean, in almost every sutram, even if you say Vruddhi Radhesh, Panini has asked us to figure out a lot of things over there. Adeng Gunha, there is a Taparakaradam, non-Taparakaradam. So all these he told us to figure out. So using the sutra. So that's basically an encoded, that's basically what encrypted system of grammar. So why Panini forces us to figure all this out? Because that's how it's not a textbook of grammar. Nobody asks you to study Ashtadhyayi if you don't know grammar. If you know grammar and you want to study how the system has been encoded, how the system has been encrypted, then you study Ashtadhyayi. And as soon as you say the system is encrypted, all these things are expected. The beauty that we have to see over here is look at the hints that he added. Like how, why would one on earth imagine that such a word karake would serve dual purpose over here? On one side, it will make clear that this sutram requires paryudasa. On other side, this word itself will show the existence of prasajya pratisheda in the entire Vyakarana Shastra. That's intelligence, that's beauty, cleverness. So yeah, and lots of such instances we will get throughout the course, or we have already studied throughout the course. There are a couple of more comments, but I can ignore, or I can keep them aside for now. So I think that's it. We will stop over here. I had some bunch of slides, but I think this is a good point where we would like to stop. Let me see if there are any more questions, but no. So we'll stop over here and we'll continue with this particular discussion in tomorrow's class. So what we did today was just the two sutras, bhave and akartari chakarake samnyayam. So now what I want to do in tomorrow's class is discuss the prakriya of the ghai pratyaya. So we have not yet studied a single sutram on ghai pratyaya. I am aware of that. You can see this particular sheet, ghai, 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 ghai. So bunch of sutras, there is a ghai pratyaya, and at some point in time, another apavada called up comes up. Remember, it's the same upper pratyay. It's written over here, ghai and abanta. So it is ghai and appa. So that's the upper pratyay comes over here, and then there is a bunch of sutras upper, 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 and some small pratyas, three, athuch, nang, and so on will come over here. So these are the two primary pratyas in this section. There is a ghai pratyay which is given by some 40 sutras in the beginning, and there is an upper pratyay which is given by some 40 odd sutras towards the end. So we'll look at these in sequence. In fact, you can read over here. Atra mukhyaha trayah pratyayah, ghaya, acha, and apa. Acha is given only by one sutra in the middle. E racha. Ekenaiva sutrena atra acha iti pratyayah diyate. But strong enough sutram, all the E varnanta dhatus, rasva ikaranta and dirgha ikaranta, all such dhatus get acha pratyaya. So significant number. So ghaya pratyaya, then he gives one sutra for acha pratyaya, and then he gives bunch of sutras for apa pratyaya. That's the general division of this particular bhavadhikara. Now, acha pratyaya, the prakriya is kind of very easy. We have seen the prakriya. We have already seen nandigrahi pachadibhyo luninacha ach pratyaya prakriya we have already seen. Apa pratyaya also very simple. There is nothing. Anyar pratyaya sadrusheva prakriya bhavati. So there are minor details of acha and apa pratyaya which I will talk at those individual places. But majority is the ghai pratyaya. We will learn the prakriya of the ghai pratyaya. There is a ghakaraha asti tasya prayojanam asti, nyakaraha asti tasya prayojanam asti. Ghai pratyaya vishishtani sutrani santi tesham kinchit adhyanam karaniyam. So shvastana varge asmabhi ghai pratyasya prakriyayaha adhyanam kriyate. Understand, our course is continuously going to juggle between shastra, sutras, and prakriya. All these things we have to push simultaneously. So today we discuss significant amount of shastra. Tomorrow we will talk about the ghai pratyaya prakriya. So exercise for today, I actually wanted to finish a few more slides. You can see there are a couple of more slides in the PPT. I won't be able to, finish any of these slides, but the exercise for today requires you to know all these. So what I will do is give me some half an hour or 1 hour. After the class, I will rewrite this exercise and I will focus only on the stuff that is discussed today, and then later in the day or tomorrow you should be able to pick up the exercise. So the exercise reflects my original plan, but I couldn't cover even 50% of that. That's okay, we will go slow. But today we learn two very important things, and those are very crucial: the sadhya avastha and siddha avastha. These are very important things, and you need to be really clear about those. And the second was this beauty of paryudasa versus prasajya pratishedha that's hidden inside this akartaricha karake samnyayam. So even if you are clear about these two aspects in today's class, we will continue tomorrow. So Shvastana Varge Punarekavaram Vadami Shvastana Varge Ghai Pratyasya Prakriyayaha Adhyanam Tadanantaram Agrima Saptahe Kramena Sutranam Adhyanam Kurmaha. So we will learn the sutras in sequence starting the next week. Ityalam समापयामः। श्वः नियमितरूपेण कक्षा भविष्यति। अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। शब्दब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान् यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। धन्यवादः।